Hello, everyone, and welcome. Happy Saturday. It's just me today. Hopefully, that is okay. I have no guests here today, and Heidi is away having a fun weekend. So I'm here with all of you, and that's what matters is that I'm not alone because I have so many friends in the chat with me, which makes me so happy. And I'm so excited for this stream. We've done quite a few streams in a row, and I'm loving it. And I'm going to touch on that very, very soon because we love doing these streams. I hope that you all enjoy them as well. I'll welcome everybody here in the chat, and then we'll touch on some things, and then we'll move on right into the stream and rank some Pixar movies and do a bracket. I'm so excited about it. Kay, welcome in, and thanks for being here. I really love the rankings as well, so I'm so glad that you do too. Gracie and Matt, welcome, and thanks for being here. You are so excited. So my Gracie and Matt actually conjoined or put together their YouTube channels, which they talked about while they were here. Which is so exciting and so awesome. And I'm so happy for them. So I'm going to throw their YouTube channel in the chat here. If you're not subscribed, please go do it. They just did a pin video, which I was briefly watching, and I'm going to finish after the stream, but I just love it so much. So go check them out. They're just the best people ever. And I just love how they're doing that joint channel. Going to have some fun. Yeah, that makes me so happy. Simone's World, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Movies today, I'm so excited. Me too. I'm excited. It's a good topic. We'll see how it goes. Stacy, welcome in. Thanks for being here. And we have Austin, welcome in. Thanks for being here. And Kennedy, thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you're here as well. But like the title says, like we discussed over on Instagram, we're going to rank some Pixar movies. And because it's March, if you know anything about sports, there's college basketball, March Madness, and we thought it'd be fun to do more of those this month and maybe go live like every weekend or like the next few weekends and kind of just do some fun brackets for March Madness and to celebrate that it's March. Caden, welcome. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And of course, we're going to start off with the Pixar movies here today, which is so fun and so exciting. Before we start this, everybody who's here, I would love to know what your favorite Pixar movie is, because we're going to do a little thing before the bracket, kind of like we did last time. But I want to know everybody's all-time favorite Pixar movie, because we are going to rank all 26 of them here today. There were 26, so not as many as the songs, which took us so long. But yeah, let me know your favorite Pixar movie down below before we do this next little trivia game, which I love trivia games. I'm not always the best at trivia games, but this one may not be too hard. I'm not too sure. Simone's World says Up, which is a very, very good movie. One of my favorites as well. Makes me cry every time, even though I know it's coming. It's just one of those that you just gotta cry because it's so sad and just emotional. Kay says the first Toy Story. That's a very, very good one. The original for Stacy. I just like to do this to get a feel what everybody's going to fight for here in this bracket, because I'll explain how I did the matchups very, very shortly. And before I do, we'll do some housekeeping here. There's 17 people here. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. Be sure to like this stream and subscribe if you're new, and get ready to play along in the chat and help us decide which Pixar movie is the best. I'm so excited that you're all here. Llama Floof, welcome. Thank you for being here. And they say Finding Dory. Becca, welcome. Thanks for being here. So hard to choose, probably Cars. There we go. Some love for Cars. TC, welcome in. They say Luca, which is a really good one. One of Heidi's favorites, if not Heidi's favorite. Matt, welcome. Thanks for being here. Toy Story 2. Caden says either Cars or Finding Nemo. Gracie says Inside Out. Jason with some love for The Incredibles, which is my personal favorite Pixar movie. Jessica, welcome. Thanks for being here. Says Toy Story. And Terry, welcome. Thanks for being here. Says Brave. So I think there's a really good variety there, and so many movies. We're going to play a little trivia game, and this is not normally a website that I love. And it's Rotten Tomatoes, which is a movie rating website for critics and audiences. And I'm very like optimistic, I guess, when I see that a movie does poorly by critics. I'm always kind of like, I don't know. I think that the audience rating is a better telling. So the way that I did our bracket is I seeded everybody from 1 to 26 based on the average of their Rotten Tomatoes critic and audience scores. So I put them together and took the average, and that's how we did the top 26 movies. And I put them in the bracket and did the matchups and all that stuff, because with the songs, it was easier to do random. Whereas with these movies, I didn't want to knock out some of the heavy hitters right away necessarily, because I feel like then that could just be kind of tough. So I kind of wanted to save that. So we did a little bracket. So I would love to know, without Googling it, of course, if anybody can tell me some of the Pixar movies in the top five on Rotten Tomatoes, based on the audience score and the critic score. So I have them all here, like I said, and we'll touch on those five, because I think it's a very interesting top five. And there's a few movies in there that I didn't think would be in there based on those ratings. So, and if anybody is a diehard Rotten Tomatoes fan, then I apologize if I called it out for being kind of sometimes a little bit too much. Kay says Up. That's a good guess. I'll reveal them once everybody puts their guesses in. Kennedy says Toy Story, the original. Stacy as well. Toy Story, the original. Jessica says Cars. Simone's World says Toy Story, and Jessica also says Toy Story 3. Becca says Toy Story must be top 5. Lama Floof says Rat Movie, Incredibles, Wally. Matt says, I think Toy Story 3 has to be up there. I think it had like 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. Very, very good guess. Caden says Up, Inside Out, Toy Story 4, Incredibles, and Monsters, Inc. Lots of good guesses. Some people got some of them, and some of them may surprise you. So we're just going to pull them up here on Rotten Tomatoes so that you can see what they look like, because it's kind of interesting when you see which ones are kind of rated higher. Where am I at here? It also it's kind of telling based on like the era, I think, of kind of when they did them. But we're going to just add this extra screen, which I always forget to do. And here is the number one movie based on the average of the audience and the critic score. The original Toy Story. You can see that there's less critic ratings, but tons of audience ratings. And we'll get to the few in a minute here. Rachel, thank you so much for being here. Don't be sorry that you're late. It's all good. Being late's fine. Better late than never. And I appreciate that you're here. I'm so looking forward to this as well. But the original Toy Story is number one, which is very, very good. Some people got that. Next up in the second spot, I'm not going to pull them all up because I thought that I had all of the visuals open, but I must have closed them all. The second spot, which is interesting, is Coco, based on the audience and critic rating, which is very, very fun. Toy Story 4 is number 3, and then Up, followed by Toy Story 3. So lots of love for Toy Story. I was honestly surprised that Toy Story 4 was that high, because Toy Story 4 is just not one that I think a lot of people liked, but I guess the critics loved it, and so did audiences. And Toy Story 3 was up there, which I think people just love their Toy Story, which you can maybe see now why everybody who was saying, why are they making Toy Story 5? 3 of the 4 Toy Stories are up in the top 5 in terms of audiences and critics. And number 6 is Toy Story 2. So everybody loves them some Toy Story. So are we ready to do this bracket? What do we think? Everybody give a thumbs up or say you're ready, and we'll get this thing going, because I got some fun things to do after the bracket as well. But I'm so looking forward to this. Of course, as always, let us know your vote down below in the comments, and we're going to have so much fun here. I'm so excited about this. 18 people watching, and I'm just so glad that I'm here with all of you. So are we ready? We got so many thumbs. Jason's got those thumbs. Kay is ready. Stacy and Kennedy and Simone, Caden, everybody's got their thumbs up. All right, so let's do this thing. I'm so excited. It's time for a bracket battle, the best kind. And this is a Pixar bracket, of course. And we asked this over on Instagram if people would like to see a Pixar bracket. And some people said to take a break from the live streams. So if if anyone's here who wanted that break, I apologize. I know that it's a lot of stuff, but they're just so much fun, and we have so much fun with them. So hopefully you all enjoy them. I'm going to touch on that towards the end, and I'm going to share some live stream ideas to run by you all, because you're like part of our little family here and you're always here. So Hopefully we're all excited. Gracie and Matt are excited. Are Gracie and Matt, are you playing separate? I would love to know if there's going to be some divides in the Gracie and Matt household. I know that Jessica is playing separate, of course. So I'm just very curious. We'll see when the time comes to vote. So we have our bracket. And like I said, I put everyone in their seeds based on the critic and audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes. I took the average and put them in. So 4 movies got a bye round, which means that they bypass the first round and we'll move on to the second round. And I'll share those in a minute. Rachel says they're so fun. I rewatched the last couple since I missed it live. Well, thank you for going back to rewatch them. And if you are rewatching these lives, I appreciate it so much. It just like means a lot to us because they're just so much fun. And I just love doing them because it's fun to interact with everybody. I feel like it's a fun way to kind of, get our community involved. And we just have the best ever community here on YouTube. So I'm just so thankful for it. So the top 4 movies that got a bye are Toy Story 1, Coco, Toy Story 4, and Up. So Toy Story and Up are on the same bracket side, and Coco and Toy Story 4 are on the same because they were the 1-4 and the 2-3, and then everything else will fall in between. And I will tell you once we get to them what seed each of them are, just for fun, so that you can see kind of where they fit based on the critic and audience rating. And magically, Caitlin is here and says, hi from the hot tub, Heidi and Caitlin. Yes, Heidi is having a girls' weekend with Caitlin, and they're just having a great time. And going to coffee shops and hanging out in the hot tub. And I got to call them today and chat, so that was fun. But they're just having a great time. So thanks for being here. And all right, we're ready to do this thing. So let's get into our first matchup. I just have to put this in presentation mode and zoom in nice and close. The first matchup, I think, is kind of a heavy hitting matchup. And I'm just going to pull up my ratings here. I'm going to take a picture of this actually so I can have it on my phone, and then I can tell you the ratings for each where they're seated. I think that'll be easier to do. So I'm going to pull them up here, and our first matchup is going to be Monsters Inc. versus Cars, which I think is a very interesting matchup. I think these are two that people love. And I'm not too sure which way this is going to go. So we shall see. But Cars and Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. was in the number 8 position, and the first Cars was in the number 23 position. So quite the difference here. You'll notice that all of the Cars movies are towards the bottom, which interesting theme there. Monsters, Inc. super beloved. But let's get everybody's thoughts, and then I will share my opinions, obviously, because I have nobody else here to bounce it off of. So I will just open it up to all of you, and then I'll share my thoughts. So Gracie and Matt say Monsters, Inc. for sure. But I guess maybe this is Gracie because I see Matt down there as well. So they're voting for Monsters, Inc. Simone's World, Monsters, Inc. Kennedy says Cars. Caitlin with a vote for Cars, and Heidi says Monsters, Inc. Matt says Monsters, Inc. is his vote. Stacy with a vote for Monsters, Inc. Jessica says Monsters, Inc. is such a classic, and life is not a highway, to be honest. That's funny. Rachel says Monsters, Inc. for sure. Caden says this is so tough, but Cars. Llama Floof says Monsters, Inc. with a question mark. I'm okay with both leaving. Kay says it's tough, but Monsters, Inc. for me. Terry says Monsters, Inc. Becca with a vote for Cars. Tacey also with a vote for Cars. And Jason says, I prefer both of these over most of the other Pixars, but I will vote for Cars. So very mixed voting, that's for sure. I'll go back and check the votes in a minute. But these are both two movies that, like, I think we're kind of in that prime of when Pixar started early. I would say that in terms of Cars, the first Cars is probably my favorite of the 3. But Monsters, Inc. is just one of those, to me, that's like upper echelon Pixar. And I just love it so much. I love the characters. I love Mike. I love Sully. Sully's one of my favorite Disney characters. I think he's awesome. And I just think that for me, if I'm going to rewatch one of these two movies, it's Monsters, Inc. I've actually rewatched it very recently. And I just think that it is such a great movie and has so many good, memorable moments. I think that, like, they really have good banter off each other, and Boo is just a super great character, and Randall's a good villain. So I think that there's a lot of good aspects in Monsters, Inc. that will make me vote for Monsters Inc. And I think in the chat, there are more votes for Monsters Inc. So Monsters Inc. will move on here, but very, very close. I like when both of the movies get some love, and we'll see if that sticks that way. 21 people watching. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it so very much. Monsters Inc. will move on. I think that Cars had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes, and Monsters Inc. has 10 votes. So very, very close there. So Monsters Inc. moving on. The next one is an old Pixar movie and a newer one, Onward versus A Bug's Life. And in terms of the bracket, both of these were very, very close. Onward was number 12 and A Bug's Life was number 19 based on the Rotten Tomatoes audience score and critic score. I think that Onward is a movie that not a lot of people saw because the pandemic started like literally right around when Onward came out. And A Bug's Life is one of those I think that people kind of forget about unless you're like a diehard Bug's Life fan. But yeah, let's see what everybody thinks. I'm going to zoom in this just a little bit more if I can over here. Too much. There we go. But Onward versus A Bug's Life. Let's see. Tacey with a vote for Onward. Stacy with a vote for Onward as well. Simone's World says Bug's Life. Rachel with a vote for Bug's Life. Gracie says Onward. I love it so, so much. Simone's World put the little bug emoji for Heimlich there, which I love. Kennedy says Onward. Kay says A Bug's Life. Caden says Bug's Life. It's underrated. Caitlin and Heidi vote for Onward ×2. Llama Floof says Onward. 1 billion%. Bug's Life is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Wow, there we go. Hot takes. Becca says Bug's Life. Matt says Onward. Terry says Onward. And Jessica says Onward. I guess neither of these will make it. I will make it to the finals. Sorry, not sorry. Jason says hate to go against Chris Pratt, but going with the Bugs. This is again one that I think I really, really love Onward. And I don't think that it got enough love. Like I said, I don't know if it's because of COVID or if just like not enough people like liked it, but I like thoroughly enjoyed it. I remember that me and Heidi saw this in the theater. This was like right before COVID happened. And I cried, like Heidi cried. It was just like a great movie and has so many good moments. And I think that the message behind that movie is very, very good. And the ending, I don't want to spoil for those that haven't seen it, but I think that they did the ending right. And I really, really enjoyed that part of it. And it was a sad ending, but I think that it had a good payoff in the end. So my vote is going to go to Onward. I think it's very underrated and a very beautiful Pixar movie. And I think a very cool like take on kind of like that like mythical side of movies that we kind of know and love. This one's also close. So excuse me as I count. I'm going to have to count these because I'm alone here. So for me, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for Onward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for A Bug's Life. So very, very close again. All these movies are getting some love, which I appreciate. So Onward is going to move on here in this round. The next round is Finding Nemo versus Brave. And Finding Nemo, I think, is one of those that people love again. It's on that level when Monsters, Inc. came out in that kind of era. And Brave, I think, is an underrated movie that not a lot of people talk about as well. But Finding Nemo was number 9 in our rankings, and Brave was number 22, so more towards the bottom. With our Rotten Tomatoes like rankings. So what are everybody's votes here? My mouth is also so dry. I don't know what it is. I'm like having to drink every few minutes. This is one again that I think one of these movies could be one that goes pretty far. Let me see. We're going to go. Terry's going to go with Brave. Llama Floof says, biggest a victory there has been for me in one of these streams. Llama Floof, you are so funny. I love it so much. Matt says Finding Nemo. Tacey says Brave. Simone's World says Nemo, face blue, smiling. Jessica says Finding Nemo. Rachel as well. Amy, Kennedy, and Gracie all say Finding Nemo. Kay says Nemo. Caden with a vote for Brave. Caitlin with a vote for Brave, and Heidi votes for Nemo. Stacy says Finding Nemo, but still love Brave. And then Becca and Llama Floof, both with votes for Finding Nemo, and Jason with a vote for Brave. Brave is one. Me and Heidi tried to rewatch it the other day, and then we just kind of, I don't know, like if it was later that we just ended up not watching it. But again, in terms of these movies, Finding Nemo is one that I could put on and watch all the time. I love that movie as well. I think that there's so many great characters. It's a beautiful movie. I love the whole aspect behind it, and I just think that it has good characters and beautiful like scenery, and the visuals are beautiful. I know, Caitlin, I'm sorry. I'm sure that Brave is underrated. I've heard lots of good things about it. I love the song Touch the Sky. Obviously, it's in all the fireworks shows and stuff. But it's just not one that I would watch over Finding Nemo, unfortunately. So I think Finding Nemo is going to move on. There was a big surge of Nemo votes, but there were some votes for Brave, which is good. So all these movies are getting some love, but Finding Nemo will move on in this round. Next up, Toy Story 3 versus Cars 2. And in our ranking here, Toy Story 3 was number 5 in the Rotten Tomatoes audience versus critic score. And Cars 2 is the last place movie at 26. Very rotten in terms of the critics. And that popcorn bucket was tipped over with popcorn falling out for the audience. So Cars 2, I think, is one of those that most people would say is the worst of the Cars movies and maybe the worst overall Pixar movie. That could be also controversial, but we'll see how the votes go. Cars 2, I think, is one that honestly I've seen one time and haven't rewatched ever since. So I think you can guess where my vote's going to go. Matt with a vote for Toy Story 3. Llama Floof says, I'm literally 3 for 3 right now. What is happening, Llama Floof? I hope that it stays your way here and that nothing changes for you. Gracie says, Toy Story 3, one of my faves. Tacey says, Toy Story 3, lots of votes for Toy Story 3. Stacy, Jessica, and Rachel, and Kennedy. I'm going to show everybody's comments here. Caitlin, Toy Story 3. Kay, Llama Floof says, easily Cars 3, the best Cars movie. By far, love it so much. There we go. So debunked what I said. Caden with a vote for Toy Story 3. Jason says Cars 2. Terry says, can I vote for Brave again? Simone's World says Toy Story, hand orange covering eyes. Oh, maybe that's, I'm pretty sure that's also supposed to be like an emoji. Maybe I'm wrong if I'm reading that. I don't really know. On my end, it has words. So Simone's World, let me know if I'm just reading an emoji name or if it's supposed to say that. Becca says Toy Story 3, and Llama Floof says you have to view Cars 2 as a standalone film to enjoy. That's fair. My vote's for Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is my favorite of the Toy Story movies. I think it's the best one, which is controversial because the first two people love so much. Lotso to me is one of the best Pixar villains, if not the best Pixar villain, and one of the best Disney villains overall. I love Lotso. I love these characters. I love the Ken and Barbie stuff. I love how like there's like so many dynamics going on. And the end scene always hits me in the feels. I watched it on the plane going to Disney back in June, and I like legitimately cried on the plane as a 27-year-old man crying on the plane to Toy Story 3 because it just every time hits me. And I know that some people always say like, I don't need that in my Toy Story movie. The toys almost like being taken away. But to me, it's like just such an emotional thing that they would all just stay together. I just think it's so good. And Lotso played them. There's just like so many things that I love about this movie, and it's my favorite of the Toy Story franchise. So that for me will move on, and it will move on overall because there was a huge flow for Toy Story 3, but also some votes for Cars 2. So we'll see how far Toy Story 3 can make it in the bracket. Next up, two very recent Pixar movies, Soul and Turning Red. Both of these were on Disney Plus. We're kind of in that like Pixar era where these movies are going to Disney Plus. Soul was number 13 in the ranking, and Turning Red was number 18. So very close. We're kind of getting towards those two in the middle. These are two movies I think that people really liked on streaming because they did very, very well for Disney Plus. But we'll see. I think this one could be very divided. So we'll see how this goes. Tacey with a vote for Turning Red. Jason says Soul. Matt with a vote for Turning Red. Kay with a vote for Soul. Gracie says a Turning Red. It's in my top 5. It's so unique and different that it is for sure. Caden says Soul. Rachel says Turning Red. Terry says Turning Red. Caitlin with a vote for Turning Red, Heidi with a vote for Seoul, and Jessica says Turning Red. I can't remember any single scene from either of these movies. And Llama Floof says a Turning Red, a great ending. And then Kennedy and Becca both with some votes for Seoul. Very, very divided so far. This one for me is hard. And it's not hard because I love both of these. It's hard because I think that they're both just kind of in that same realm for me, where they're both kind of just like could go either way. They're not movies, honestly, that I've rewatched. I've watched both one time. And I think it could be because Turning Red is one of those, I think, that does a very good job of like that sort of, I think, like growing up, which I think is really, really cool aspect. And Soul obviously is a very different movie in terms of like the afterlife and stuff. So I think that they both offer very, very unique perspectives on those two different themes. Simone's World with a vote for Soul, excuse me. I guess I'm going to vote for Turning Red, very barely. I love that it's set here in Canada, which I think is cool. I like the Ford Town stuff with like the music. I think it's a cool story, and I love Panda May. I think she's very cool. So for me, Turning Red will just very like narrowly beat out Soul, because to me they're both just not my faves. But I could see how this could go either way. Gracie says that Soul is boring. That's fair. I like I said, have watched it one time. Maybe I'll have to revisit it though. Kyrus Drew's welcome in says Soul. And I think this one's very close. So let me go look at my chat here. If anybody who's keeping track can let me know, that's great. But I can also obviously count just to be safe. But if anyone is like looking and going, I already know the number, then just let me know so I don't have to count and bore everybody here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Turning Red, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me recount this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Soul. Did I say 7 and 7? Because my vote didn't, like I didn't count mine. So I guess Turning Red moves on by 1 or 2 votes there. Very, very, very slim margin for Turning Red. And we got 24 people in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. And hopefully you're all having a fun time. We are now moving on to the second round of this side of the bracket. Of course, if you're new to these brackets, we do one side and then it goes on to the other side. I'm not too sure why it does that, but we'll do the left side first, and then we'll move on to the next side. Next up, we have Monsters, Inc. versus Onward. A very interesting matchup. Again, one classic one and a newer Pixar movie. Let's see how this one goes. Where am I at my chat here? Kyrus Drew says Turning Red was awful. There we go. I like everybody has a different opinions. And that's what's like so fun about these, is that people can vary their opinions, can have different loves. Someone could love the worst movie ever and it's their favorite. So very, very like fun topic, I think, talking about movies and different things. Caden says Monsters, Inc. Matt with a vote for Monsters, Inc. Tacey says Onward. Rachel and Kennedy both with votes for Monsters, Inc. Terry and Becca with votes for Monsters, Inc. as well. Gracie with a vote for Monsters, Inc. Kyrus Drews says Onward. Heidi with a vote for Onward, and Caitlin with a vote for Monsters, Inc. Jessica says Monsters, Inc. Nothing beats put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Yes, I love that so much. Simone's World says Monsters, Inc. Anthony, welcome in. Thanks for being here, says Onward. Kay says Monsters, Inc. So does Stacy, and Llama Floof says Onward. This is the point of the bracket where all my choices go horribly wrong. There we go. It gets tougher as we go because the movies get harder and harder to pick between. This one, I think, for me is just because of like a classic. As a kid, I loved Monsters, Inc. and I still love it to this day. I think it's one of the best Pixar movies. It's in my top 3 for sure. Maybe top 4, actually. Top 4. But I'm going to go with Monsters, Inc. It is just so good. And Onward is so good too. But it's just one of those things that Monsters, Inc. is just one of my favorites. So I got to vote for that one. Jason says, it picked me up with its mind powers and shook me like a dog. So funny. I love when people can quote all these movies. It's so fun. I'm not the best at it. Like, I'm pretty good at some things, but we used to get like a pin mail or pin purchases or trades from our friend Kevin. And he would always put in like a Disney quote to guess. And me and Heidi sometimes would look at each other and go like, no clue, which is so fun. And then people would always correct us, of course, in the comments and let us know. But this one's going to go to Monsters Inc. People love Monsters Inc., but there were some votes for Onward, which I love. I know Onward is one that Heidi really, really loves and is one of her favorites. So Monsters Inc. Moving on. Next up, Finding Nemo versus Toy Story 3. Oof, tough one, I think, here on this, side of the bracket. We'll see where this one goes. Also, if you're enjoying this stream, be sure to like it. Let us know that you enjoy it. And if you're watching this after, thanks for watching, and we appreciate it. And honestly, I just want to say this now. I'm going to say it at the end as well, but I just love these. I know that I said it, and I just honestly appreciate it so much that you all come out and make this a part of your week. I just honestly can't believe it sometimes that we have all these people here watching me talk about Pixar movies. Okay, let's see. TC says Toy Story 3, and so does Stacy. And Anthony says Toy Story 3 for the win. Jason with a vote for Nemo, Caitlin with a vote for Nemo, and Heidi says Toy Story 3. Matt, this is what I'm thinking. This is a tough one. Very, very tough for me. Gracie agrees. It's getting tougher, but I'm going with the fishies. Kennedy with that Finding Nemo emoji. I like it. Crack the code. Kennedy and Caden always put in those emojis, and it makes me happy that I can hopefully get what they're talking about. We had the one last time where I was so confused, but Kennedy's making it easy for me here. Rachel says this is so tough for me. It is very tough for me as well. Llama Floof, Finding Nemo, not as good as the sequel, but still deserves respect. Kay with a vote for Finding Nemo, and Becca agrees with Finding Nemo. Rachel and Simone's World with votes for Finding Nemo. Matt decides on Finding Nemo. Caden says, just keep swimming to the next round, Finding Nemo. Jessica with a vote for Finding Nemo. This one's so hard. And Terry says, Toy Story 3. Okay. This for me is the hardest one yet. Finding Nemo is a movie that I love. Obviously, Toy Story 3 is my favorite of the Toy Stories. And Kirst Drew's also with a vote for Toy Story 3. That being said, just barely, I think, because Finding Nemo is an excellent movie. Toy Story 3 will get my vote because it's my favorite of not the 3 Toy Stories, the 4, soon to be 5 Toy Stories. I just honestly think that it's perfect. I just love it so much. And of any Pixar movie, that is one of the 3 movies that I would rewatch right now. I would go put on Toy Story 3 right now and watch it. So for me, Toy Story 3 will be my vote, even though Finding Nemo kind of crushed this round. I'm pretty sure, I'm just going to double check on how many votes I see, but I see lots for Nemo. So Nemo is going to move on, but at least Toy Story 3 got some love and had a good run. Gosh, I love that movie so much. But Finding Nemo, moving on. All right. Oh no. Yes, I was going to say we didn't get to rank Up because it was not in our bracket yet. So Up was a buy. I guess the Toy Story, because it was number 1, I had a longer buy. I don't really know what happened. We'll see if a Toy Story 1 is still up there. I'm pretty sure. But Turning Red versus Up, and Up was the number 3 seed, I'm pretty sure, in our bracket here. Number 4 seed, sorry. But so Turning Red versus Up. Turning Red was number 18, and Up is number 4. Up is a movie that people love. Carl and Ellie were our favorite and best Disney couple back when Gracie and Matt were here ranking couples. And that is also one of my favorite movies. So we'll see what the chat has to say. Kay with a vote for Up. Lots of Up here. Kennedy with the balloon and house emojis. Matt with a vote for Up. Caden with a vote for Up. Tacey as well. And Jessica, you can't vote against the best Disney couple. Llama Floof says Up for the sweep. Becca with a vote for Up. And no sweep. Caitlin with a vote for Turning Red. Yes, Turning Red is one of Caitlin's favorites, if not her favorite. Heidi with a vote for Up. Jason says maybe the last time I vote for it, but Up this time. There we go. Terry with a vote for Up. Kirst Drews with a vote for Up. Rachel says, I know that I'm going to lose this one, but Turning Red for me. Gracie says also, I know that I'm losing, but I'm voting for Turning Red. Simone's World says Up. And Caitlin, showing her solidarity for Turning Red with Gracie and Rachel, says Turning Red strong. I like it. My vote's for Up. I love Up so much. I love Doug. I love Kevin. I love Russell. Carl. I think that the only thing maybe is the villain, but I think that it's okay. Yeah, I love Up so much. And Gracie, throwing the shade at me as a Canadian. Brandon, as a Canadian, it's a shame. I know. I'm sorry. It's just, I just love Up, but I am still like a true Canadian. I swear. True Canadian over here. I'm also wearing my like Toy Story Mania stuff because it's like the only Pixar stuff that I have. Shout out to Magical Castle Company for this stuff. But yes, I'm rocking with the Toy Story Mania vibes, and Rachel with the little hands up saying yes for that love for Turning Red. But Up is going to move on in this round. Next up, okay, yeah, here we go. Toy Story, the original Toy Story versus Monsters, Inc. Wow. Wow. Super tough. Crazy round here, I feel. And Caitlin with that Canada flag. Oh, Canada. Am I going to get copywritten for that? Because our last one got copywritten as well, by the way. Like, just to share that I did that whole little like intro with the song, and then it got copywritten. I was so sad about it. So I had to change the music. But hopefully the little oh, sorry. This thing just popped up. There we go. We're good. Okay. Toy Story versus Monsters, Inc. Anyways. Tacey with a vote for Toy Story. Kay with a vote for Toy Story. Gracie says the toys have it. Caden with a vote for Monsters, Inc. Anthony and Matt also vote for Toy Story. Kennedy with a vote for Monsters, Inc. with the door and the monster. Rachel says no, another hard one. Jessica says Toy Story. Stacy says easy one for me. She's just like Toy Story. Easy. Llama Floof says Monsters, Inc. We've already voted out one Toy Story. Let's vote out another. Llama Floof is coming for Toy Story. Kier's Drew's Monsters, Inc. Rachel says, I need a second to think. Rachel, you take your time. Simone's World, Toy Story. Terry with a vote for Toy Story. Jason says, a Toy Story for Mrs. Nesbitt. It's Mrs. Nesbitt. Llama Floof, controversial. Toy Story is overrated. I love Toy Story because it was part of my childhood. Rachel with a vote for Monsters, Inc. Becca with a vote for Monsters, Inc. And Caitlin and Heidi both voting for Monsters, Inc. Closer than I thought. I don't know. For me, this is Monsters, Inc. because I love Monsters, Inc. and Toy Story 3 is my favorite Toy Story. Toy Story 2 is probably my second favorite, but this original one is just so good. It's the one that started it for Pixar movies here for Disney like features. Yeah, I'm still gonna go Monsters, Inc. And so will Becca and Rachel. And I'm pretty sure the Monsters, Inc. is moving on, but I'm just gonna double check. I want to be very scientifically accurate here with our bracket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe not. Like, what am I doing? I'm over here wrong. 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, look at me. Good thing that I counted because Toy Story has 10, Monsters, Inc. has 8. Everybody who's in the chat is like, what is he doing? Going to put Monsters, Inc. through when Toy Story is literally winning. And Forky is here. Welcome, Forky. Late to the party, but definitely Toy Story. There we go. That one pushes it over the edge. This, I think, is the first like ouch of the bracket here, I think, with Toy Story moving on over Monsters, Inc. That hurt me to click that. Ouch. Another tough one, Finding Nemo versus Up. Two, I think, iconic movies. People love both of these movies. Not too sure which way this will go. We're almost at the end of this side of this bracket. And then we'll move on to the other side. I also want to know as well after, like, do people think that like Pixar movies make you cry on purpose, or is it just like a natural thing? I've seen so many theories out there that like Pixar deliberately forces almost you to cry. Like they make it so sad or emotional. I'm not complaining. I like it because I think it's just so good. Like it makes you feel like you connect with the characters. Llama Floof says, this is the worst a defeat ever. I am in anguish. People love their Toy Story, Llama Floof. That's why they're making 5 movies, and the original people love it. Matt says Finding Nemo. Kay with a vote for Up. Gracie with a vote for Nemo. Tacey with a vote for Up. Forky says Katie would actually vote for Monsters, Inc. So our vote is 0. They're a wash. Caitlin with a vote for Nemo. Heidi with a vote for Up. Anthony with the little emoji for Up. Simone's World and Terry both with votes for Up. Becca says Nemo. Rachel's torn but ultimately going with Finding Nemo. Jason and Jessica with votes for Nemo. 2 votes here for Up. And Caden with a vote for Up as well. Llama Floof says Finding Nemo. People, please vote for Nemo. Disney Mertz, welcome in. Thanks for being here with a vote for Nemo. Kennedy with some Up emojis voting for Up. And Stacy votes for Nemo. This one's close. And Kieris Drews with a vote for Up. Very, very close one. These are both, like, I think, top tier Pixar movies. And if I were to throw these in a tier, I would have Up slightly higher for me in a tier list. So Up will be my choice. I love Up. I love that opening. I know people say that it could be like manipulation. They're making you cry. I love it so much. I love the characters. I love the whole aspect of it. And the end makes me cry too with Carl and Russell. So I'm going to vote for Up. I think this one's very, very close. So I got to do a count again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 votes for Nemo. Maybe it's not that close. I don't know what I'm like thinking every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 votes for Up plus mine at 12. So just barely 12 to 10. Up is going to move on. Are there any other votes to sway it? Maybe not. It would need 3 votes. Going once, going twice, 3 times, going to Up. And the last round for this side of the bracket to determine our winner for the left side going up against the winner of the right side is the original Toy Story versus Up. Very tough. Let's see if people's votes for Toy Story will stay, or if they're going to swap to Up, or vice versa. Llama Floof says, I lied. This is the worst defeat ever. I'm so sorry, Llama Floof. Finding Nemo had to go, I guess. It's time. 30 friends in here. Thanks for joining. I just appreciate it so much. I don't know what else to say, but thanks for being here and spending your Saturday night with me and all of our friends here in the chat. I got to see where this starts. Kay starts us off with a vote for Up. Simone's World and Caden with votes for Up. Jessica and Tacey with votes for Toy Story. Matt with a vote for Toy Story. No question. It's the one that started it all. Gracie with a vote for Toy Story. Caitlin with a vote for Up. Caitlin with a vote for Toy Story. Heidi with a vote for Up. Stacy votes Toy Story. Disney Mertz says Up. Anthony, Toy Story, another big W. Jason and Rachel both with votes for Toy Story. Kennedy with a vote for Toy Story. I love the emojis, Kennedy. Kieris Drews with a vote for Up. Terry with a vote for Toy Story, and Llama Floof says Up. Anything but Toy Story, despite Up knocking out Nemo. So Llama Floof has swapped over. Caden says, I like Up because Carl looks like Martin Scorsese. That's very, very funny. Becca with a vote for Up. And Forky says, even though my name is Forky in chat, I have to vote for Up. There we go. Very interesting. This one's hard because Toy Story, of course, started us off and is iconic. And as like a child, I loved Toy Story. Toy Story and Lion King and Aladdin were like my go-to movies as a like 5 or 6 year old. I'm pretty sure that was like around that time that I just loved these movies. Caitlin says Forky the traitor. It's okay, Caitlin. Forky just has to vote for Toy Story 4 and then it's okay because Forky's not really in like any other ones. Obviously, they're in number 4, but I don't know what I'm saying. But I'm going to vote for Up. I love Up. Like I've said before, it's one of my faves. And like I find it so hard. I got to try to get in the mindset of like the better, more iconic movie. But for me, I think that just Up has like so many things to offer. And I just really, really love it so much. So my vote's going to be Up, and I'll check all the votes in a minute. But Forky says, wow, 30 in the chat. Don't forget to hit that like. Thank you so much for helping me out with that. And Jessica says traitor as well. Let's see where we're at. I think that Up got a lot of votes to start off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 votes for Up. And Toy Story with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 to 10. We're tied at 10. 10 votes for Up and 10 votes for Toy Story. Are there any swing votes? Anybody there who wants to have their voice heard and swing this to either Toy Story or to Up, because we're 10 to 10. Which ways are going to go? The toys or the gang with the balloons? Matt says, my dad votes for Toy Story. And that is it. Toy Story. Moving on. The voting is closed there. We got that swing vote 11 to 10. And Forky says, magically Caitlin, LOL, don't like sleeping on the couch. Llama Floof says, no, what? Did I count wrong, Llama Floof? I don't know. Let me double check. And Jessica says, I was here. My dad did vote for Toy Story. Thank you, Jessica, helping me out. Let me check one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 with my vote. And then we got 11. Oh, Llama Floof says, no, I'm just an outrage. Okay, so I did get it right. Thank you, Llama Floof. I'm so sorry that you're upset. Gracie says, I can vouch for him voting too. I know Matt would never lie. Matt would never lie to me on a bracket. Matt's like the king of the bracket. So thank you for vouching, Gracie and Jessica. I appreciate it. But Toy Story, moving on. Winner of the left side of the bracket by 1 vote. Moving on to the right side. This is a tough one. Incredibles 2 versus Luca. And I can tell you where these ranked on our bracket. Incredibles 2 was number 15 and Luca was 16. So both of these right in the middle. Luca, of course, a newer Pixar movie, was on Disney Plus. I think that's Heidi's favorite Pixar movie. I could be wrong. It's that or Onward, but she loves Luca. Luca is such a good movie, so beautiful. And Incredibles 2, we waited a long time for Incredibles 2, but it finally came. And we'll see what everybody has to say. Simone's World is with Llama in outrage. Tacey with a vote for Luca. Caitlin and Heidi both voting for Luca. Simone's World with a vote for Luca. Gracie with a vote for Luca. And so does Anthony. Lots of Luca love. Stacy with a vote for Incredibles 2. Kay with a vote for Luca. Matt says Incredibles 2. Kierst, Drews, and Kennedy. Kennedy loving the emojis, my friend, with a vote for Luca. Disney Mertz voting for Luca. Rachel says Incredible 2. Llama Floof says Luca for the surprising sweep. Caden and Jason both voting for Luca. Forky says Katie and Forky voting for Luca. Jessica says, I'll say The Incredibles 2, not my favorite, but I turned off Luca 20 minutes in because it was so boring. Oh, hot takes, hot takes. And Becca with a vote for Luca. A lot of love for Luca. Wow, I love to see it. Luca is a great movie, one that I love so much. But Incredibles 2, very close for me in terms of the original. I love Incredibles 2. The action sequences are just like perfect. I love these characters. I love Jack like experimenting the powers. I love the whole Bob and Helen dynamic. I love the scene like at the house when like all of those like hypnotized heroes pop in and it's like Frozone and Violet and Dash in the car. I love Incredibles 2. So my vote's for Incredibles 2. I love Luca though, and it hurts me to not vote for Luca because it's such a beautiful film and super like underrated. But clearly, people in our chat love Luca. T and H, welcome. Thanks for being here. They're voting for Luca, and Luca's gonna move on. Luca like really took over in this chat. Very, very happy about that because Luca's a great movie. Couldn't have happened to a nicer movie. Luca. Hurts me to click this as well, though, because I love Incredibles 2, but I love Luca. So Luca, moving on. Next up, we have Inside Out versus The Good Dinosaur. Inside Out is number 7 in our Rotten Tomatoes audience and critic average score seating, and The Good Dinosaur is all the way down at number 24. So not one of the best in terms of audience and critics on Rotten Tomatoes. The Good Dinosaur. Inside Out, a classic, a beloved movie. People love it so much that they're making Inside Out 2. Super fun and exciting. We'll see how that one is as well. But this is a very interesting pairing. I would agree with Gracie's comment, which I'll get to in a minute here. But Matt with a vote for Inside Out. Terry with a vote for Inside Out. Caitlin and Heidi both voting for Inside Out. Gracie says Inside Out, this pairing. Yes, very, very, very interesting pairing. Becca with a vote for Inside Out. Jessica, Inside Out. Stacy as well. Llama Floof, literally the easiest vote ever. Disney Mertz with all those colors for all those emotions. Love it. Kay with a vote for Inside Out. Simone's World says Good Dinosaur. There we go. Good Dinosaur getting some love. Forky with a vote for Inside Out. TNH voting for Inside Out. Jason with some more love for the Good Dinosaur. Caden with the emojis for Inside Out. Kennedy with the same. A little different pairing there. Tacey with some emojis as well. Inside Out. Rachel voting for Inside Out. And Anthony voting for Inside Out. I'm voting for Inside Out. I really, really like it. I mean, Bing Bong, come on. If you don't cry it like at Bing Bong, Take Her to the Moon for me, that is just so sad. And just such a great movie. Really like it. Good Dinosaur is one, honestly, that I can't like remember anything about. And I've had no desire to go rewatch it. I feel like I should because I want to be up on my knowledge. But Inside Out is just so awesome to me. I love it so much. I'm intrigued what they're going to do with Inside Out 2. Curious Drew's also voting for Inside Out. But yeah, this is just a movie that I love and I know lots of people love and I think needs some more representation in the parks. I know that at DCA out in California, they have like that little like emotional whirlwind little ride, but I would love if this movie got some more love. I'm also team get Rock and Roller Coaster to become Monsters, Inc., by the way, which I forgot to say with like the doors. That would be awesome. We're going to do like a live show on that in the future, changing some attractions, but that's for later time. Inside Out, moving on pretty easily, but Good Dinosaur did get some votes, which is great. Next up, we got Ratatouille and Monsters University, which is the prequel to Monsters, Inc. Ratatouille was number 11 in our seating, and Monsters University was number 20. So Ratatouille is one that people love, obviously has the attraction over at Epcot in that whole area back there. People love a Ratatouille, love this little guy. And I think a lot of people love this one in the chat as well. Llama Floof, K, Ratatouille. Llama Floof, Rat Movie. Matt with a vote for Ratatouille. Kennedy, Ratatouille. Gracie, Monsters University, MU. Tacey with a vote for Monsters University. Kay and Kyrus Drew say Ratatouille. Stacy says Monsters University. Jason says Rat Movie Easy. Caitlin and Heidi both voting for Ratatouille. Caden as well voting for Ratatouille. Jessica says it literally had its own TikTok musical, Ratatouille. Yes, it did. Very, very interesting. Rachel with a vote for Ratatouille. TNH voting for MU. Anthony says MU, unpopular opinion. I enjoyed it better than Monsters, Inc. There you go. I love these opinions. I love how people just have like varying opinions and varying favorites. I think that's so cool. And I love it so much. Caitlin says oui, with the French accent. Forky, Monsters U. Simone's World, Ratatouille. Becca and Disney Mertz as well voting for it. Ratatouille, and Terry with a vote for Monsters University. Monsters University is one that I like. I think it's fun. I love the characters. So, of course, getting more of them is just like so great. I think that it's a very, very well done prequel, but my vote's Ratatouille. I like Ratatouille a lot. I think like the music's beautiful. It's very visually beautiful. The whole concept's interesting, and I like Remy as a character. I think he's so cute and so fun. But Monsters University, I think, is super underrated and is one that I think I watched a few months ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But Ratatouille is going to move on. There were some votes there for Monsters U, which is good. I like when the movies get some love. So everybody has their differing opinions. But Ratatouille, moving on. Next up, we got two space-y movies, space settings. Wally versus Lightyear, which is the newest Pixar movie to come out. Of course, Elemental's coming out this summer, but Lightyear is the newest release. Wally was number 10 in the Rotten Tomatoes seating, and Lightyear was number 21. So very different. Lightyear is one that we saw in theaters, myself and Heidi, and Socks the Cat is by far the standout. Love it so much. Wally is a beautiful movie as well. People love their Wally. So let's see which way this goes. Tacey with a vote for Wally, and so is Terry. Jason voting for Lightyear. Matt with a vote for Wally. Disney Mertz says, oh, don't even insult me. You already know. I already know. It's Wally for you, my friend. TNH says Wally. Kay with a vote for Wally. Caitlin and Heidi ×2 voting for Wally. Gracie says Wally, but don't love it. Rachel with a vote for Lightyear. Kennedy voting for Wally. Becca voting for Wally. Llama Floof voting for Wally. Stacy says Lightyear. I don't understand the hate on Lightyear. It was so good. I agree. I think that some of this hate on some of these movies is just unnecessary sometimes because some of them just get so much hate. But Lightyear wasn't a terrible movie. Not one of my favorites, but not that terrible that people walked out on it. Kier's Drews with a vote for Wally, Caden voting for Wally, Jessica voting for Wally. The whole part with Zerg was weird, so it's a no for me. Forky says Lightyear, Simone's World voting for Wally, and Anthony voting for Lightyear. Teenage said enjoyed Lightyear, but love Wally. There we go. 33 friends in here. My goodness. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us. We appreciate it so much. We're just, of course, doing a Pixar bracket. We're on Wally versus Lightyear. So let us know your thoughts and like the stream if you're just coming in here. We appreciate it so much. My vote's going to be for Wally. It's not a movie, though, that I've seen in a long time. I think if I rewatched it, I would like it more. But I honestly just like don't always have a desire to go back and watch it because I know that it's a very different movie. There's not much dialogue, of course, because it's like Wally and Eve and stuff. So I don't know. I'm going to have to rewatch it, but I'm going to vote for Wally because it's a classic and great. Lightyear was good, though. Like I said, Socks the cat, super good standout. Love that character. And hopefully they do more with Socks the cat. But Wally will move on. And Caitlin says, don't forget to like. Thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate it so much. So Wally moving on. But Lightyear did get some votes, which is always great. Next up, Toy Story 2 versus Cars 3. Toy Story 2, of course, gave us Jessie and Bullseye and Stinky Pete and some fun scenes. And Cars 3 was kind of the final Cars movie, of course, so far. We'll see what they do with it. I know there was a thing on Disney Plus. Is that like a continuation of Cars? It's like a series. Not too sure. I'm not super qualified to know things about Cars because I haven't really watched Cars often. I've seen them each probably one time, but where are we at? Disney Merch is going to say I was going to lose it if Wally didn't win. Gracie with a vote for Toy Story 2. Tacey, Toy Story 2. Matt, Toy Story 2. It's a perfect sequel. It really is. Such a good movie. Stacy, Simone's World, Kay, Kennedy with just a 2, all voting for Toy Story 2. Rachel voting for Toy Story 2. Llama Floof says Cars 3 Toy Story is overrated. Caitlin and Heidi both voting for Toy Story 2. Jessica says Toy Story 2. How can I vote against Jessie? We pretty much have the same name. That is very true. Becca says Cars 3. The Cars on the Road. That's what it's called on Disney Plus is amazing. Thank you for clarifying that. Caden voting for Toy Story 3. Toy Story 2. Cars voting. Jason voting for Cars 3. I'm all over the place. This chat's just flying up on me and I'm losing my place. But Jason voting for Cars 3. Anthony, Toy Story 2. Terry and T and H voting for Toy Story 2, and Kier's Drews voting for Cars 3. And Forky says, tough choice, Cars for grandson's favorite. That's fair. So, Jessica says also Toy Story 2 is literally the best. There we go. I'm going to vote for Toy Story 2 as well. I think it's so good. It's my second favorite of the Toy Stories. I love the additions to the characters and the new toys. I think it's just so good, and I just love everything about it. Like I remember playing a game. I don't know like what console this was on, if it was on like the computer, but it was Toy Story 2. And I remember one of like the levels was you had to be Buzz and walk with like the pylon and try to navigate through stuff. And there was cars and like manhole covers. If anybody knows that game, like please let me know, or if I'm just like making this up, but I like vividly like remember playing this game, and it was hard and fun, and there was like different levels. One of them that then after was an Owl's, a toy barn, but I know that game. Yeah, that I played that as a kid for sure. Just have no clue what it's called. But my vote's for Toy Story 2, and that is what's going to move on. So much love for Toy Story 2, but also some votes for Cars 3. So far we've had no sweeps, which we'll see if that changes moving on. Probably not, because then it gets very tough. Toy Story 2. Moving on. Next up, Finding Dory versus The Incredibles. And I was shocked by this when I did my Rotten Tomatoes averages, that Finding Dory was number 14 and The Incredibles was number 17, which to me seems so low. I thought this would be one of the higher ones in terms of like the critic and audience, but they weren't. They were both kind of the same in like the low 80s. I don't know. But yes, Finding Dory, of course, the sequel to Finding Nemo and The Incredibles, my favorite Pixar movie. TNH say Finding Dory, Tacy and Llama Floof voting for Finding Dory, the best film ever, says Llama Floof. Stacy voting for The Incredibles, Gracie voting for Finding Dory. Matt, why are we just like the same person? Because this is exactly how I feel. The Incredibles walked so the MCU could run. I like agree. I think The Incredibles is one of the best superhero movies ever made. Magically, Caitlin and Heidi voting for Incredibles. Jason voting for The Incredibles. Where is my super suit? Love it. Rachel says, ooh, this is so tough. Kay voting for The Incredibles. Anthony, The Incredibles. Terry voting for The Incredibles. Kennedy voting for The Incredibles. Jessica and Simone's World voting for Finding Dory. Rachel and Forky voting for The Incredibles. Caden voting for The Incredibles. I love how Caden and Kennedy have these awesome like emojis every time. Kier's, Drews, and Becca voting for The Incredibles. Like I've said, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie. One of my favorite movies ever. I love the sequel as well, but I just like remember vividly as a kid, I would watch this movie and I love the part in like the jungle with like Dash and Violet. I would always play it. I would bother my sister. I would like skip there sometimes and watch it from there. I love the scene when like the music plays and they all like turn and it's all them together. And then like Syndrome comes in. I just really, really, really love The Incredibles. And I just am very passionate about it. So Incredibles is my vote. Llama Floof, I'm so sorry. Finding Dory is out too soon, but Incredibles is moving on because there was tons of love for The Incredibles, but like also some votes for Finding Dory. So it was also closer than I thought it would be, but Incredibles. Moving on. Now we're up to the top, and this was our buy round. So Coco got a buy, of course, because it was number 2 in our bracket, number 2 in terms of Rotten Tomatoes score and the audience score for the critics and audience, and then versus Luca, which was in our number 16 position. So 2 versus 16, and Forky says Edna Mode for the win. Darling, where did it go? There it is. Love Edna Mode. Let's see where this goes. TNH voting for Coco. Tacy with a vote for Luca. Matt voting for Coco. Kay voting for Luca. Simone's World voting for Luca. Jason and Stacy with votes for Coco. Sorry, there we go. Llama Floof voting for Luca for the upset. Gracie voting for Coco. Heidi for Luca and Caitlin for Coco. And Forky, I'm Dance, sorry, voting for Coco. And Jason says Brandon's going to have to count this one. I think so. This one is going to be close. We're very divided so far on Coco versus Luca. We'll see if any other votes come through here. Caden voting for Coco. I got you, Caden. Rachel voting for Luca. Kennedy voting for Luca as well. And Terry says, I'm so ashamed. I haven't seen either. It's okay. Don't be sorry. I haven't seen some movies too. And it's all just part of it. Maybe I want to go rewatch these, or sorry, I'll watch these for the first time. I think that they're both very, very good Pixar movies. Jessica says Coco, even though I had to watch it 5,000 times in Spanish class. That's fun how you got to watch that. We never watched Disney movies in class like that. Anthony voting for Coco, toughest one, but Coco, and Kier's Drews as well voting for Coco. Alrighty. This one's hard. I will say that I've watched Luca more recently because it came out like recently within the last year. And Coco's not really one that I've went to rewatch. It's a beautiful film, like even just like looking at that poster, but so is Luca. They're both very visually beautiful. Coco, I think, does a really good job at explaining like its theme and topics. So this one's hard. Becca's going to also vote for Coco. And Jessica says it would be fun if we watched it in English. LOL, that's fair. Wow. I'm having a hard time. I'm kind of just like stalling here. Wow. I think I'm going to vote for Luca. Wow. Hard, but going to vote for Luca. I think that Coco is probably a better movie, but I just like Luca better, I think, because I've seen it more recently and I would be more inclined to go watch it again. I'm gonna have to rewatch though Coco because it's so beautiful, and like I know that I love it as well because I've obviously seen it like a few times, but I'm gonna vote for Luca. And Forky says, if you're having fun, hit the like, it's free. You're so sweet. But I think I'm gonna do a count just to be safe. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 votes for Coco and not that many for Luca. So Coco is moving on. It's a higher seed for the reason. Next up, tough matchup. Inside Out versus Ratatouille. And for reference, Inside Out was number 7 and Ratatouille number 11. So 2 higher ranked seeds here. Very, very, very tough matchup. I'm excited to see which way this one goes. We'll get the voting started here. Inside Out versus Ratatouille. And as well, be sure to stay to the end of the stream because we're going to discuss some things about future live streams and hopefully have some fun with that. Matt with a vote for Inside Out. Stacy voting for Inside Out. Jason voting for the Rat movie. Gracie voting for Inside Out for the win. TNH, Ratatouille. Simone's World, Ratatouille. Jessica voting for Inside Out. Rachel, Ratatouille for sure. Kay and Tacey voting for Inside Out. Caden as well. Terry voting for Inside Out. Katie and Forky voting for Inside Out. Kennedy, Ratatouille. Becca and Llama Floof with the rat noises both voting for Ratatouille. Close one, I think, here. Going to have to be one that we count. We'll see if any other votes come through. I know that Caitlin loves Ratatouille, so she's probably going to vote Ratatouille. But let's do a count now to see where we're at. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Inside Out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Ratatouille. So 7 to 9. Are there any other votes? Ratatouille versus Inside Out. What are we thinking? So far, Inside Out's moving on. But we'll see if there's any other votes. Going once, going twice, and Inside Out moving on by 2 votes in this round. Next up, Wally versus Toy Story 2. I think I know where this one's going to go because I think that people love their Toy Story, but we'll see. Wally versus Toy Story 2 again as a refresher. Wally is our number 10 seed and Toy Story 2 is our number 6 seed movie. Let's see. And here we go. Stacy voting for Toy Story 2. So does Matt. Toy Story 2. Kay with a vote for Wally. Jason and Gracie voting for Toy Story 2. Tacey voting for Toy Story 2. Kierst Drews with a vote for Wally. Becca voting for Toy Story 2. Caden with a great emoji with the little 2 fingers voting for Toy Story 2. TNH voting for Wally. Rachel and Jessica with votes for Toy Story 2. Wally makes me fall asleep. Kennedy voting for Toy Story 2. Llama Floof says, Wally, we need to eliminate Toy Story. And Simone's World voting for Toy Story 2. I think it's going to be a hard task, Llama Floof, to get rid of Toy Story because there are 4 movies and one of them's already moved on. And I think this one's going to in this round as well. Terry voting for Toy Story 2. And Forky says 1 for Wally and another for Toy Story 2. So my vote's going to be for Toy Story 2 as well. I think, like Matt said earlier, it's a perfect sequel. Just like love the characters. I just really, really, really loved Toy Story 2. I think it's a great movie. And that will be our movie that is moving on for this round, though Wally did get some love, which was great. But Toy Story 2 is moving on, I think, by just a couple of votes. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think I have to count this one, but Toy Story 2. Moving on. Next up, all right, this is where our buy round kicks in as well. Toy Story 4 was our number 3 seed, which honestly shocked me. I'm pretty sure like the critic and audience, it was like 98, like a 98. Like it was very, very high. So that's our number 3 seed going up against The Incredibles, which was our number 17 seed. So one high seed, one middle seed here. So we'll see which way this one goes. For me, Toy Story 4 is my least favorite of the Toy Story movies. But people seem to love it clearly because it did so well in terms of those ratings, and they're making a fifth one. So we'll see where that fifth one goes. Llama Floof says Incredibles. Surely Toy Story 4 won't move on. Llama Floof is really putting it out there that the Toy Stories don't move on. Anthony with a vote for Incredibles. Gracie and Matt voting for, or sorry, this is Gracie voting for Incredibles. I'm reading, but it's just Gracie because Matt's right here with vote for the Incredibles. I love Toy Story, but the fourth one doesn't match up to the first two. Totally agree. Rachel and Kay voting for the Incredibles. Kierce Drews and T and H voting for the Incredibles. Kennedy with a vote for the Incredibles. Becca and Tacey voting for Incredibles. Jessica says Toy Story 4 was so unnecessary, so voting for Incredibles. Jason says Incredibles. Have literally watched Toy Story 4 one time. Stacy says, I've backed Toy Story this whole time, but number 4 ended terribly, and I'm looking for a better ending with Toy Story 5. My vote is for Incredibles. Terry voting for Incredibles. Forky, Toy Story 4, but an Incredibles here too. Simone's World says, didn't see Toy Story 4, but Incredibles. Caden, Incredibles. And Llama Floof says, seeing a Toy Story get out so soon is beautiful. And this is an upset alert in terms of our seeding. I knew that Incredibles or like whatever the other matchup would probably beat it, but people love them. Some Toy Story 4. This had over 300,000 votes on Rotten Tomatoes for Toy Story 4 being that high. So Incredibles, moving on. Is everybody in the chat excited for Toy Story 5? What are our thoughts on that as well? You can leave those down below because that's coming. So we'll see. We got Coco versus Inside Out. As a refresher, Coco was our number 2 seed, so higher seed, and Inside Out was number 7. So 2 top 10 seeds here. This one's going to be interesting, I think, as well. Forky says, I just laugh every time that I see Forky. That's fair. That's your name on YouTube, so you got to be loving Forky for sure. Tacey says Inside Out. Gracie voting for Inside Out. Kay voting for Inside Out. Jason is Matt on Toy Story 5. That's fair. Matt and Stacy both voting for Coco. Llama Flu says, my vote is to whichever movie can beat Toy Story 2. Anthony voting for Coco, and so is Becca and Jason and Rachel and T and H. And then Jessica says Coco, that plot twist, and Kierce Drews as well voting for Coco. People love them some Coco, that's for sure. Kennedy voting for Coco and Terry voting for Inside Out. This one I think is tough. I think these are both kind of on the same level for me in terms of where that I would put them if I did a 1 to 26 actual ranking. So I don't know. I'm going to get to the chat here. Caden voting for Inside Out. I like those emojis with the arrows. And Anthony says, I hope we get to see more of the older characters in Toy Story 5. Rex deserves more screen time. I love Rex. Rex is one of my favorites. So I would agree. I hope that we get some of those OG characters back in there for sure. Getting some more time. Forky says Inside Out for Katie after hearing the story behind why it was written. Coco for me, though. I'm going to vote for Inside Out. I like it a lot. I love the whole Bing Bong scene. Of course, like I said before, I love the voice acting. I love the characters. It just edges out Coco to me because they're both, beautiful movies. I need a drink here. I'm having a hard time. Let me do a check here, but I'm pretty sure, Coco is running the table. I'm having a hard time here. When you talk the whole time by yourself, I feel like I'm struggling. So I apologize that I'm struggling here. But I think that Inside Out's going to move on. Or sorry, Coco is going to move on. I mean, not Inside Out, because Coco has more votes, of course. Rachel says Rex is the best. Yeah, such a good character. Coco, moving on. Next up, Toy Story 2 versus The Incredibles. 2 juggernauts here in terms of our voting so far, but in terms of the Rotten Tomatoes, Toy Story 2 was number 6 and The Incredibles was number 17. So quite the disparity here in terms of these 2 movies. I think we know where my vote's going, but I'll let the chat get going here. Gracie is sad. I think about Inside Out. I'm so sorry, Gracie. Is that your favorite Pixar movie? That's what you said, right? I'm pretty sure. So I'm very, very, very sorry that it's gone. Tacey voting for Toy Story 2. So is Stacy, and Anthony says, oh man, Toy Story 2. Jessica says a Toy Story 2 all the way. Gracie, Toy Story 2. Kay voting for Toy Story 2. Matt says Toy Story 2. This is a tough one, but I remained loyal to Toy Story. Rachel with a vote for The Incredibles. T&H and Jason voting for Incredibles. No capes. Forky says, darling, please, Incredibles for us. I love it. Simone's World, Toy Story 2. Terry and Becca voting for The Incredibles. Llama Floof with a question. Why does everyone love Toy Story so much? The Incredibles all the way. And Caden and Kennedy voting for Incredibles. And so is Kears Drews. Close one. Tough one. I'm going to count before I give my vote. I think we all know what my vote's going to be, though. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 votes for Toy Story 2. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 votes for The Incredibles, plus my vote, which is 11 votes for The Incredibles. Very interesting vote here. Toy Story 2 is a great movie, perfect sequel, but for me, Incredibles is my favorite, and I just think it's so great. Like Matt said before, I think that this like really set the stage for like superhero movies. I think the action sequences are done so well. I think that like the power sets for these heroes are awesome. I think that they're also done so well visually, like Elastigirl and all that stuff. And I just think that Syndrome's a great villain. So Incredibles will move on. And Caitlin and Heidi both coming through with 2 votes for The Incredibles. This one, ouch as well for those people. I'm so sorry. Another Toy Story movie knocked out. And this comes down to our final for this side of the bracket that will go up against Toy Story in our final. Coco versus The Incredibles. Coco, our number 2 seed, and The Incredibles they're at number 17 in our bracket. Llama Floof says victory, and Jessica says this is rigged. I promise. Not me. Didn't do it. Yes. So Coco versus The Incredibles for the final. Tacey with a vote for Incredibles. Gracie says Coco, love a musical. Me too. Musicals are so great. T&H voting for Coco, Simone's World, and Terry and Rachel all voting for The Incredibles. Matt says this is so tough. It is tough. Yes, it just gets harder. Kay voting Incredibles. Caden and Kennedy Incredibles. I think so. Kennedy. This is the first one that you've stumped me, but Incredibles, I think. Llama Floof says The Incredibles for The Incredible upset. Jason says, yikes, tough one, but going Incredibles. Jessica says, Coco, get Incredibles out of here. It doesn't deserve to stay after that last matchup. Oh, no. Jessica really doesn't like The Incredibles in this bracket. Stacy, The Incredibles. Becca voting Incredibles. Matt says, I think I'm going to go with Coco. And Anthony says, ooh, going to go Coco. And Kears Drew says, Incredibles, hardest one. It just gets harder as we go. I think Incredibles is moving on. There was a lot of votes for Incredibles, which I'm honestly surprised. I think that people love Coco, and I thought for sure that Coco was going to be a juggernaut in this bracket. But upset alert, The Incredibles moving on. Wow. Couldn't have happened to a better movie. And our final for the Pixar bracket is the original Toy Story, which is our number 1 seed, going up against our Cinderella team in the bracket, The Incredibles, number 17. And Jessica says rigged. I'm so sorry, Jessica. Again, my hands are clean. I didn't do it. The original Toy Story versus Incredibles. We'll see where this one goes. Let's see. A lot of Toy Story so far. Stacy and Tacey and Simone's World all voting for Incredibles. Llama Floof says, please be Incredibles. Rachel voting for Toy Story. Llama Floof says, this would be the greatest upset in human existence if Incredibles wins. Gracie says, a vote for the toys. Once again, Matt voting for Toy Story. Jessica says, Toy Story. If Incredibles wins, then this is this is a definitely rigged. I love it. Kay says, Toy Story. Sorry, Llama Floof. Terry voting Toy Story. Forky, OG Toy Story. Sorry, darling. LOL. Caden, Incredibles. Kirst Drew says, Incredibles is the better movie. TNH voting for Toy Story. Matthew says, Toy Story for both my mom and dad. A lot of Toy Story love. I figured this was how this was going to shake out. But my vote is Incredibles. I think it's the best Pixar movie. I think it's obviously my favorite Pixar movie. I love the original Toy Story, but it's not my favorite Toy Story. So I can't pick it to win. I'm going to pick the Incredibles, even though it didn't come through. Kennedy voting Incredibles. Jason says, goodness, very tough, very close. Toy Story, you're a sad, strange little man in a buzzer beater. And Llama Floof says, my PayPal is pulled up if I see Incredibles votes. Llama Floof, you are too funny. And Gracie says, not very incredible of you, Brandon, with a sad tear. Gracie, I'm so sorry. I feel bad about it, but I just got to stick to my guns. Incredibles is just my favorite. I could literally watch Incredibles every day. I just have such a fun time with Incredibles, but it doesn't matter because the OG Toy Story is our winner of our Pixar bracket. And this is how the bracket shakes out here. Lots of love here for the Toy Story movies, of course, but I think a lot of those OG movies, of course, moved on pretty far. Caitlin and Heidi also with the 2 votes for The Incredibles, but Toy Story had that big surge. So Toy Story is our winner. Good job, Toy Story. It just proves that people love a classic. So Incredibles had a good run, and I'm glad that it made it to the final. It makes me happy, obviously, that it's my favorite. But that is our bracket. Toy Story as the winner. I know a lot of people will be happy with that because people love the Toy Story excuse me, movie like in the beginning. A lot of people said that was their favorite Pixar movie. Stacy says, we win. And Gracie, super hyped with all the clapping for the Toy Story movie. Llama Floof says, I would have been okay with a rigged vote. Llama Floof, you are so funny. Jessica says, good. Incredibles deserved to be defeated. This is almost as bad as Robin Hood and What's Her Name, almost making it to the end of the couples bracket. And Gracie says, Brandon, you knew that it would win. Look at the fit. Yes, I know. I knew that it would win because it's just, people just love it so much. But that is our Pixar bracket, and I had so much fun with it. Before we go, we're going to touch on some things. We'll chat about some Disney stuff for a little bit, and then I'll share about our new live streams to come because we have one coming next weekend. Maybe I'll share that one now just so that, because there's lots of people here, we can talk about it, and then I'll talk about some Disney stuff that I wanted to share. But this will be next weekend. We're going to be live again. I know. Hopefully it's not too much for all of you. Are you excited about it? Be honest. Let me know. Do you love these live streams? Because we love doing them, and I have so much fun. So hopefully next weekend's live stream will not be too much, and we'll have a fun time. So let us know. Jessica says, no way. Is that... Oh, Llama Floof right here. Jessica says the Foxes deserve to win it all. And Jessica says, no way. I thought that Jessica was saying no way to being excited about live streams, and then I put them together. That Jessica probably would never say that to me. But yeah, we're going to do a live next weekend as well. We love them so much. It's March Madness, like I said. So we want to do some more live streams. And to be honest, like in terms of our videos lately, which I'll touch on later, like we're waiting for pin mail to come in and just like that kind of stuff. So for us, live streams are just so fun, and they're so fun to do, to sit down and do these with you guys. So Kay says, love the live streams. Jessica says, yes, we love the live streams. Anthony says, first time I've been able to make it to one, definitely will be at the next one. Well, that is just so kind, Anthony. Thank you so much. And Stacy says, I vote live streams every week. We've honestly talked about that. I think it would be fun. And I know that there's other channels that we love that we like kind of have connected with who do live streams weekly, and they just have a great time with it. And I just love it so much. Simone's World says, I'm excited. It's fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So Oh, sorry. Gracie says agreed. Gracie, so sweet. And Forky says thumbs up, love the live streams. Okay, well, this is next week's live stream right here. Episode 26. I also can't believe we're in episode 25 here today. 25 sunny sit down live streams. Just like blows my mind that we've done like that many, which it's not like that much for some people, but for us, like it's a lot. And stay tuned. Like after this, we're going to touch on some Disney news before we move on here. But this will be next week's live stream. It'll be ranking Disney sidekicks Saturday, March 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gonna have so much fun with that one. Lots of sidekicks. You can see some of them pictured there. Of course, there's way more that aren't there. That's going to be a big bracket because there are so many Disney sidekicks and so many good ones. I think this is going to be a really, really good bracket. I think it's going to be so awesome. Sidekicks are honestly, like most of the times, my favorite Disney characters in movies. So I'm just stoked about this one. Yes. Are there any sidekicks that we need to include? Let me know down below while I'm talking about this. Any sidekicks that you think got to be on there? There's lots pictured here. Of course, there's more that aren't there, but Jason says Mushu wins, full stop. Jessica says, ooh, that's a good one. Matt says, I love the sidekicks. Excuse me. Rachel says, love it. Kay says, sidekicks can't wait. Matt. I keep saying Matthew because I'm reading. Matt. Either way, Timon and Pumbaa for the win. Forky says, so in other words, Forky for the win. Kirst Drew says, all about the sidekicks. That's fair. Mater's not a sidekick. I guess I just put I looked up Disney sidekicks and there's a whole list and Mater was on there. So I can take Mater off. That's fair. Simone's World says, I love Baloo. Jessica, Flounder and Phil are on our bracket. They're just not pictured here, but they are on there for sure. So many good sidekicks. So many awesome ones. But yeah, this will be next week's live stream and I'm so excited about it. Heidi will be back here with me. We'll be sitting together. Maybe we can have some guests on there and get some fun, like little duo people on here. Maybe some other people have some more people chatting about it, but we'll see. Llama Floof says, please include the spin wheel and Sleeping Beauty. That's funny. Little John, yes. Tori, welcome. That is a very, very good one for sure. Have to have him on there. Caden says, LeFou. Yeah, there will be some villain sidekicks, all the villain sidekicks as well. So this one's going to be a big bracket. So get your snacks and your drinks already and buckle in because there's lots of sidekicks. And I'm not going to get to include every single one, like from every obscure movie and from all the movies, but we're going to do our best to include as many as we can. We know how long that our song bracket took. It was like over 2 hours. So we'll see how long this one is, but hopefully you're all okay with that if it's a long one, because it is going to be a long one. There's so many Disney sidekicks. Timothy's a very good one. Guinevere is a good one from Onward. There are so many. So next weekend will be Disney sidekicks, and we're just so excited about it because sidekicks, I think, are like one thing, like I said before, that people love about Disney and just have such a fun time with. So I'm excited that we can do sidekicks finally because there's so many things that we can do in terms of a bracket, and there's just like a lot of things that we can talk about in a bracket, and they're fun. I know that we did like tier lists in the past, but I think that like brackets are fun because we get to have that like debate and really talk about things and really like get into it and put them head to head, which is always so stressful and so much fun. But Jiminy Cricket's a good one. Would Miss Piggy consider herself a sidekick? I don't know, but people, I guess Miss Piggy would consider herself to be the main character, and people love Miss Piggy. Very fun. A couple more housekeeping things, then we'll touch on some Disney stuff. But I know we haven't really posted a lot of like sit down videos lately, but it's like I said, we're waiting for pin mail. We have to wait to do a haul, like in terms of like having more things for haul video and stuff. And obviously there'll be more Disney cultural exchange program, Disney college program sort of content coming, of course, as things change for me and more things happen. But right now we're kind of just at that point where there's not like much of that going on. I'm going to do a video in terms of like my bucket list of items while I'm down there working for Disney, things that I want to do and that I want to see while I'm there, and new things that I haven't done. And of course, all that will come soon because honestly, that's like, it's going to be 2 months away soon, which is just mind blown. So I'm excited about it. But in case you missed this, Filmed the trailer reaction to the Haunted Mansion teaser trailer. And we're going to touch on that now because we're going to play a little game in a minute once I pull up my little intro. But like I said, I posted that for Haunted Mansion. And yeah, I'm excited about it. Really, really am. Gracie says, oh, we will have the whole bucket list crossed off. I'm honestly, can I just say this? One of the top things on my list is to be with you guys down there. I'm so excited to hang out with Gracie and Matt. They're just like the best and so much fun. And I'm honestly just so excited because they're loving pin trading now, like and back into that, which makes me so happy. And we're going to pin trade and have some fun. So I honestly just can't wait to hang out with you guys and have some fun because every time that we chat and just, I don't know, I just am excited. It's going to be a fun time. But yeah, Haunted Mansion trailer reaction is up on our channel if you want to check it out. And Caden coming through 71 days until the check-in for the CEP. Crazy, Caden. So crazy. And Gracie says ditto. Aw, shucks. You guys are so sweet. I'm so excited. And Forky says, you should be excited. We're excited for you too. I'm excited. And if there's anything that you want to see in terms of the cultural exchange program, please let me know. I'm going to do a live stream before I go talking about that and asking opinions on what you guys want to see. Because there are so many things that I want to do while I'm there. And I obviously want to vlog lots and I'm going to post lots while I'm there because there's so many things that I want to do and that I want to share with all of you. I want to vlog as much as I can and just have a fun time while I'm there. But do we want to play a little game? I had some stuff to play and I think it'll be fun. So let's play a little game of... We're going to play up or down, so get those thumbs ready. We'll add on a quick little game of up or down here to end off the stream. But yes, and Kira Drew says you're going to rock it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Forky says, does that include a shopping list? LOL, just kidding. Very funny. I'm definitely going to spend some money while I'm there. That's for sure. I'm going to love the merch. Yeah, like I've been making a list of like my bucket list and I'm excited. There's like so many things that I want to do. And just like things that I want to cross off while I'm there. So I'm excited about it. But we're going to play up or down, which means get those thumbs ready. You can do up, down, or kind of meh if you want to, whatever you think will be best for you, because it's your opinion and your vote. But we're going to start off first with, I just have to pull it up here. Where is my picture? There it is. Here we're at. Okay. Our first thing in our up or down is, of course, we all know that Epcot Flower and Garden Festival started like a few days ago. And it's a festival that me and Heidi both got to go to while we were down in Florida in June. We had a fun time with it. It was our first time doing that festival. And I'm excited that I can be down there for food and wine because I want to do all the festivals eventually. Yes, I really want to go to Festival of the Arts, so I feel like that would be my favorite one. But are we up or down on the Encanto topiaries? What do we think? I'm like big time up. I love these. I love the topiaries, and I think these ones look so good. There's also a new Tiana one that is just beautiful and stunning, but Encanto topiaries are just awesome. I love the topiaries. And I think these are great additions. These are at the front of the park when you come through. And I think that they just look so great. A lot of thumbs up here, of course, which I knew Gracie and Jessica, Matt, Llama, Floof, everybody. Thumbs up on these topiaries. I cannot wait to see these in person. They're going to be so great. And are there any topiaries right now there that people just love? Like, what are some other topiaries that people have enjoyed? I love the Seven Dwarfs ones. There's a lot of ones that I love, but the Seven Dwarfs ones, I think last time were my favorite. I really enjoyed them. But these ones are really nice. I think they're just beautiful. I'm pretty sure that I heard that like the flower glows or something at night. So that's really cool. But I'm just excited to see these topiaries in person because I love Encanto. That like Luisa one just looks so good. Such a good topiary. But yeah, that is our first one. Kermit is a cute one. That's true. That's a very, very good topiary. I really, really like that one as well. Miss Piggy and Kermit. People love their Muppets as well. So that's a good one. All right. So next up, we are going to do up or down. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull this up here because I got to get my last graphic ready. I'm all about the graphics. I'm just going to leave up my picture for this, but the Haunted Mansion movie coming out this summer comes out at the end of July, which will be when I'm down doing the cultural exchange program. What are we thinking on the Haunted Mansion movie? I think it looks good. I think it looks really, really good. Yeah. What do we think? What are we thinking on the Haunted Mansion? If you saw the teaser trailer, you can let me know your thoughts as well. Lots of thumbs here so far. I think it looks so Haunted Mansion-y. I really, really enjoy it. I really, really like it. And I think it just gives me those good vibes. Like the cast. I just think it's going to be so good. I'm excited for the cast, and it's going to be very, very fun. Sorry. Perfect. I'm just trying to do this because I want to have this ready, but I forgot to just add one thing to it. So I apologize that I'm typing as we're on here. But we got some mix, some and not sure. We got another Simone's World is down on this one. And then a lot of thumbs up from everybody. Gracie says, love the cast. I agree. When I watched like the trailer reaction, I got like spooked a couple times. I love how they have stuff like from the ride, like the stretching room. I love that. And I will say I loved Jungle Cruise. It was a movie that I really, really liked. I had so much fun with that one. And I just think that it's going to be good. I think it's a good addition. I like when they do these, and I like when they do like the kind of like live action like interpretations of these rides because they're just very, very good, and I have a very, very good time with them. Just have to put this last thing on here, and then we're good to move on. Okay, sorry. Alrighty, and our last up or down, where's my graphic? Maybe I can't find it. Is, where are they? Right here. I want to know people's opinions on these because people have very different opinions on them. I can't seem to find my picture, of course, because it's the last one that I didn't have, but I want to know people's opinions on Disney Crocs, exclusive Disney Crocs that you can get for like festivals or Disney 100 or just like exclusive Disney Crocs. I love them and I want some. No way they're going to have my size, but I love Crocs. But is there anybody out there who has any exclusive or parks Disney Crocs, whether it be 50th, 100th, Flower and Garden, any festival, Halloween, Christmas? What else is there? Like the Mickey ice cream ones. I think that Gracie and Matt have those ones. Those like Mickey bar ones, because I know that you match, which I just love. Lots of look at all the thumbs up. Matt says perfect for the parks. They're so comfortable. Gracie says, oh, we stan. Okay, I'm a Crocs stan. And you know what's funny? I wore them to school like before winter, and people were like, not the Crocs. And I was like, what do you mean not the Crocs? But I guess there are some people like Stacy who are strictly anti-Croc. Kennedy says, especially with the Mickey head holes. Love it. I'm gonna have to get some while I'm there. Are there any ones that people are feeling right now? Because I'm excited like about the Crocs. I just love them. I think they're so comfortable. They're a shoe that is good for me because my feet are size like 16. So for me to try to find shoes isn't always great. But when I can find Crocs in a cool color, I'm excited because it means that it's a good day when I can find some good Crocs. So I'm excited to get down there and get some Crocs. But to end off our stream, I'm going to pull this up. Where's my StreamYard? There's my StreamYard. The new Flower and Garden ones are super cute. They are. I love the little gibbets on there. I got a box of gibbets and I never wear them because I'm scared that they're going to fall out. Kennedy says I almost exclusively wear Crocs. That's good to know. See, I'm always like, I always feel like people think that Crocs are weird, which I don't care like what people think, but I wore them to the daycare that I work at one time, and the kids were like, "What are those?" Like that whole classic thing, and they're like, "What are you wearing?" And I'm like, Crocs. Crocs are the absolute best footwear. They're just so good. Um, they're just so good and so comfortable. All right, I'm just gonna pull this up because we're gonna chat about some things here, and I want to know people's opinions because you're all part of this family here on YouTube, and I want to know what we're thinking on these ideas because you're all the ones that are here. You're all the ones that are going to do these things. So let's see what we think. And also, hopefully, you enjoyed this one. I know that it's kind of like different when someone's going solo, but I had a great time. I had so much fun, and I hope that you all did as well. I just had a great time with you all. So here are the live streams to come. And I'm so excited that I can announce these and share these, but we got a long list here. And I'm going to explain each one because we got some good ones. And that's kind of why we touched on going weekly, maybe until I leave. Like for Disney, we can try to go weekly. That would be fun. Obviously, while I'm at Disney, we can't go weekly, but we are going to do lives while I'm at Disney, me and Heidi, and have some guests on as well. But we're going to do these live streams here for sure before I leave. So ranking Disney sidekicks is next weekend. Hopefully you'll join us on Saturday. We're going to do that one. We also are going to do ranking Disney animated movies. So all of them, I think there's like 60 something of the animated movies. We just did the Pixar ones, of course. We're going to do strictly just animated Disney movies. All of those. That'll be a very intense live stream. That's for sure. This one I'm excited about. This was me and Heidi kind of had this like collaborative idea of the perfect Disney World Day bracket, meaning we'll give maybe like 2 or 3 different choices, like, or 4 choices of like, for example, like a resort to stay at, and then a magic band to pick as like our pre-arrival and all these things. And we're going to do the perfect Disney World Day. It may just be like 2 things come up and we pick our pathway. We're not too sure how we're going to do it yet, but hopefully that's a fun idea. I think that'll be cool. And we'll see, like, for example, like we get to Magic Kingdom, like what are we doing first? And there'll be different options. So hopefully that'll be fun. And we can kind of do that and see like things that we pick for different things, attractions, and like what part we're going to park hop to after, what snacks and food we're going to eat, all that stuff. I think that'll be a really, really fun live stream, and we'll get to see what people think. We're going to rank Disney villains. And yes, exactly, Llama Floof. It's like a choose your own adventure, which hopefully is fun. We try to think of like new fun ideas because I don't know. I really, really love live streams, and I think there's a lot that you can do with them, and I'm excited about them. So that'll be a fun one. Gracie says, love the perfect Disney World Day. Kennedy says, OMG, we're invited to your birthday party. Well, that is the last one on there. For the last a few years, we go live on my birthday. I open gifts on here, have some cake, chat, play some games, like some like up or down or like a bracket last year. We'll do some stuff on my birthday, have some fun, and open some pin packages or something maybe, or sorry, some like mystery pin boxes, have some fun. We did it last year and it was so great. So you are, of course, all invited to my birthday live stream. I'm going to do my Disney college program / cultural exchange pre-stream. So before I go, talking about things that I want to do, things that you want to see, and play some games related to that, and talk about some of that stuff. And then we're going to rank some Disney villains as well in a bracket. I think that we like the brackets more than tier lists. We're going to stick with brackets. They're more fun for this kind of thing. Tier lists have their place, but yeah, these are the ones to come. A lot of live streams, and I think for Saturday next week we'll have some fun with sidekicks, and maybe, who knows, all of March we'll go live weekly because it is March Madness. We'll do some brackets. And I wanted to touch on this because I got some questions about like sit down videos. How come we haven't really done some lately? And the honest answer is, on our channel, we used to always do sit downs and used to unbox things and get subscription boxes and do lots of hauls and all that kind of stuff, like during COVID. And lately, honestly, like it's hard to like save money and be doing those things. So for us, especially because I'm like moving to Disney, I got to save money. So we don't really do unboxings of like subscriptions anymore and that kind of thing. Who knows, maybe there'll be a time that we do again, but I think that we've kind of transitioned into like A lot of live streams, still doing pin stuff because that's never going to go away. Pin trading, pin unboxings, pin like hauls and videos and vlogs, all that stuff. But I think what you can expect from our channel, because people were asking, is of course park vlogs on trips, my college program vlogs, live streams almost every week, and then like other videos when they happen. Like if we cross the border, we'll do a vlog, pin unboxings, pin mail, hauls after buying stuff, trailer reactions, a lot of mix of things. But yeah, like in terms of every week, I think every week you'll have a video, which we say is always going to happen every week. And right now it's going to be live streams just because we're waiting for pin mail and stuff, but there will be a pin video soon. But yeah, these are things that you can all look forward to. So I hope that's okay with you all. I just really, really love this whole community that we've built. I really, really love it. And I just thank you all so much for sticking by us and supporting us. And just honestly, it just really, really means the world to us that we get to do this and have all of you like in here with us. You're all just incredible. And I just can't thank you enough for like the support and the love. We've been on YouTube like for like, I think now 3 years or 4. Yeah. Like almost going to be 4 years, which is just crazy. And it's been the best thing ever. We just love it so much. And we hope that you all love these live streams and just anything that we put out. We try our best and we hope that you all love it. Gracie says would love a Q&A. That's fun. We haven't done one in so long. So that's a really, really good idea. We'll definitely do that. We'll post a box on Instagram and maybe have like a video here and we can answer some questions. We'll do like a sit down. That would be fun because there are lots of questions that people always ask. So thank you, Gracie. That's a great idea. And Stacy, thank you. So I'm going to sign off with that. I hope that you all had such a fun time because I know that I did. And again, we'll hopefully see you all next weekend on Saturday. We're going to do Disney Sidekicks. Going to be a fun one, going to be a long one, and going to be a heated and competitive one. So I just hope that you all have a great rest of your weekend. And you can always put some suggestions after watching this video for sidekicks to include because I don't want to miss any. Jason says we appreciate you. And Gracie says, y'all are the best. Thanks for an awesome live stream. You guys are so sweet. Love you all. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you next Saturday. Mark your calendars. Disney Sidekicks, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you all. Have a great weekend. And remember, peace out. It's always sunny.